Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's finally happened. The crossover we've been waiting a half or quarter or third generation to see. Fast and Furious, Jurassic Park, finally teaming up. But not necessarily in the way that you think. And let's talk about that. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome back to Hollywood After Dark's nearly midnight movie chat. My name is Matt Jarbo. I'm joined tonight by Animance. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Just trying to stay cool. I really fucking enjoyed Loki last night, so I've been theorizing about that. It's just
good.
It's been a good week, yeah.
Good. I'm glad you saw Loki. Yeah, I didn't know if you were watching it because today, RJ and I did a 30-minute talk on it. We did this discussion video. And there's stuff that we even overlooked, because you think you get to everything and you're like, okay, I can get to and then you don't get to everything.
Oh, there's way too much. Like, there's so many Easter eggs that they put in there and shit like that. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, they really did. There was that one I saw. It was I don't know how far into the spoiler territory we want to go, being just only a couple minutes into this entire stream.
That's true. We can save that for now.
Yeah, So here's the thing. Like, Loki is very good. It's very good. And I'm probably going to watch it tonight again before I go to bed, just to kind of like lay down in bed. And like, I just want to get kind of lost in that world. That's how I view, like when I watched WandaVision, because I grew up watching those reruns of sitcoms, right? So I really enjoyed the first couple episodes of WandaVision that tied into Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie and things like that. And then seeing Loki had it had a really cool vibe to it. Had a groovy ass vibe, like a 60s style vibe. And I really just enjoyed the aesthetic of it and the way that it looked and the way that it felt. And the dialogue for me was fantastic. So
it was hilarious. It made me laugh out loud multiple times.
Oh, multiple times. Yeah. Multiple times in the in the episode, little callbacks here and there, little things here and there. And what's really funny to me today is how many people have gotten their literal panties in a twist over this. I'm not even fucking kidding you. So many people have gotten their panties in a twist over it. Like, Infinity Stones was trending, and it wasn't necessarily for like the good reason. And so again, to not like, I don't want to dive into it, but all things considered, it's just like people who don't really understand what it was that was happening in the episode and why that sight gag was literally one of the funniest things they could have done.
It 100% made sense, and I found it hilarious. But
yeah,
I can still see why someone... Look, here's what it boils down to, right? Just for that whole aspect of things, you always knew that there was going to be people who have a difficult time, setting into that.
Well, there's always people that are going to be like that. There's always people out there that are going to find ways to be negative. And look, there's things I don't like. Obviously, there's things you don't like, and that's just natural. But when like heel versus babyface, who I'm relatively unfamiliar with, like the person or the character.
I used to watch him all the time when he was a World of Warcraft content creator, so I know a thing or two about him.
Okay, so like is he ever serious, or is it all just kind of kayfabe satire?
It seems like, I mean, I don't know. I kind of gave up on him after he started doing this political shit, but a lot of what he was doing back when he was just even making fun of Blizzard and shit like that, it was kind of like theater, kind of like shock jock. He would do these like long form, like radio style podcasts, which were kind of like shock jock humor.
Well, I mean, and I'm fine with it. I like shock jock humor because I think of myself as more like, like when we're doing something like, let's say This Week in Strange, right? I make a lot of really obscene, crass jokes, and I'll make obscene, crass jokes here too. So I kind of look at it more like, if someone compared me the other day to like NPR, they said you sounded a lot like NPR.
NPR.
And I'm like, is that a good? Well, because the thing is, like, I view it like when someone says NPR, to me it means like high production quality. You sound really good. You put on an interesting discussion. And that's kind of how I view NPR. But maybe that's just the fact that I'm like a smug Pacific Northwest liberal, right? Like, we devour NPR like it's... I actually haven't listened to NPR in years. But they do some really interesting documentaries, by the way. They do some really fascinating shit on NPR. And I just like the way that they operate. Like, there's a host over there called Terry Gross. And she does a show called Morning Air. And the show is her, it's a one-on-one interview show with her and celebrities or people of merit, whatever. And they're never in the same room. She has her office. And what she does is she goes into her recording studio and she turns off all the lights and she sits there in pure darkness with just her headphones on and the microphone right there. And she talks to the person wherever they're recording from, but it allows her to just get into the mindset of talking to that person, talking to that celebrity. And some of the conversations that come out are just really fascinating, like go all the way back to 2006. And she interviewed Sacha Baron Cohen right after Borat came out. And he was open about the whole process. He talking to her about things that they were doing. And he kind of opened up about a few little things that you didn't really hear elsewhere because he's so caught up in the conversation that it just kind of flows that way. And it's not like going on some, like The Late Show or Jimmy Kimmel where it's, it's this not pre-scripted, but it sure as hell feels that fucking way. These interviews that are like 4 or 5 minutes long that are just kind of, okay. You know what? Like, and then you see them on another show because they tape it all on the same day. That's it. And sometimes they're even wearing the same clothes. Like that's how little they care. They don't even do a wardrobe change. You know what I mean? Like this is different than that. So, I mean, I kind of take that as a compliment personally, because I like to feel like that's kind of what I bring to the table. And then also come and fart jokes. How about that? Right.
Oh my God. Just got to slip that in there. Of course.
Of course I got to slip it in. I didn't think I got 2 kids.
Oh,
anyway, but going back to heel versus babyface, because that's where this whole conversation started. So this was sent to me earlier today. But the person who sent me this just says, I'm really glad I left this community. And so it says here, Loki episode 1, absolute trash, how to destroy a 10-year legacy. And then I'll take off the banner so you can read this whole thing here. It says here, today saw the first episode of Loki, Disney Plus series. It was absolute trash. Not only did it mock its characters, it made the whole of the Infinity Saga irrelevant, and also life itself having no meaning whatsoever. I mean, clearly that's hyperbole.
Damn. This really fucking hurts to see, because I think there's multiple people who you definitely have seen this yourself. When you see them start to walk down the alt-right rabbit hole. I don't even know if he's necessarily alt-right, but he's definitely an anti-SJW still on that grift. You see the type of people that heel versus babyface hangs out with and associates himself.
Well,
with.
Yeah.
It's always rough to see people just get to that point where they're just like, I don't really care about anything anymore other than just getting clicks and views and shit like that, because that's what they see their fellow people do, right?
Yeah. Oh, I get that. I totally get that. And on that particular subject here, I would just like to thank our channel members for the belief in Nearly Midnight Movie Chat and Hollywood After Dark and $3 Theater. New God. Person want to add in Otis Famunda is a new member. Thank you, Otis. And he's joined by this eternal awesome group of people right here. And you too can get your name up on here and definitely, check that out. Link in the description. Or our new sponsor, the Gina Carano Did Everything Wrong t-shirt is going to be available soon, which you could totally wear to trigger your more conservative family members at the upcoming holiday extravaganzas for 4th of July and Thanksgiving. Because you know what? Fight the red hat with a white shirt. There we go.
Okay.
That's why I do it. That's why I do it, because it's funny. Also, here we did get a couple super chats. Aiden Tolbert, $2 says, "Bring it on." Yes, that's true. H Bart's here, $2. Just says Matt.
That's all.
That's it. That's it. Just says Matt.
All right, Matt.
What's funny was I was listening to another stream today, and H Bart's pops up and mentions my name.
He just says Matt.
I wonder how many live streams H Bart's goes to in order to he just brings me up randomly. It's great. Thank you. Yeah. Spread the word of Jarbology. That is my religion.
Jarbology.
That's actually a podcast I named for myself 10 years ago.
I remember.
Yeah, it's just I was I need kind of a funny, edgy name like Jarbology. Like that. It sounds pretentious and smug, like I would be an NPR host or whatever. But I thought it was pretty good. Anyway, hold on. Gahul here says, speaking of fair criticism, I'd like to criticize your lack of discussion on Dewey Johnson. Well, Dewey Johnson is going to be talked about. Here we can see plain as day Dewey Johnson replacing Dwayne Johnson in the upcoming Fast and Furious movie. That's going to be him right there. It's a velociraptor who's surprisingly has a fair amount of range. Kind of like Dave Bautista moving from wrestling to acting. Fair amount of range.
Matt, you think you're being so funny right now, but at least one person's actually going to go to this fucking movie and be like, what the fuck? Matt told me there'd be dinosaurs.
Well, if you go see it in IMAX, you will get to see dinosaurs. That is actually true. So we'll bring up that first story because that is actually pretty interesting. And I have to give credit to Universal for very much trying to merge it all together. So okay. So this is what they put out today. F9 to preview the next Jurassic World. I mean, and it makes sense because Jurassic World was supposed to come out this year because the last one came out in 2018. So it was on a 3-year cycle. It's been pushed obviously to next year because of COVID, but Fast and Furious, when it comes out in, I think 2 weeks or whatever, is going to be major because people will go see Fast and Furious. I'm going to go see Fast and Furious because I fucking love Fast and Furious. And I know that you said you're not too familiar with the Fast saga, and you should be.
I honestly, I don't even want to I don't want to piss anyone off. I just don't get why it's so fucking big. Like, I see the appeal, but I don't see why it's as huge as it is. If that makes sense. Machismo. Okay, it's not even machismo. All right, I'll put it to you like this: the Fast and Furious franchise kicks so much ass because it's completely self-aware of how over the top crazy it is, and it just feeds into it. Right. So like the first movie is essentially a Point Break remake. It's a ripoff of Point Break. And then in the second movie, they kind of like increase the scales. Like they kind of put a bit more pressure on, and no Vin Diesel, but it's got Paul Walker in it. And it's a fun movie. It's definitely a fun movie. And then you get to number 3, which was meant to be a reboot of the entire franchise. And, it did okay, but at that time, a lot of these companies are starting to kind of go back to the well and go back to these, try to bring the original cast back from other IPs. I think Final Destination was trying it. Universal, that's New Line, I think. Doesn't matter. And so then they did Fast and Furious, which brought everyone back, and then set up Fast 5. And Fast 5 in 2011, that came out 10 years ago last month, actually, or back in April. That movie blew up. It blew the hell up because it's a solid movie. And then from there, it's like, okay, well, now we need to up the ante a little bit. Let's go into Fast 6. And then they went into Furious 7 with, unfortunately, the death of Paul Walker. That was a big one, but it was the first movie to crack $1 billion. It still cracked $1 billion worldwide. So then they came back and they did The Fate of the Furious number 8, which also went on in 2017, 4 years ago, to crack $1 billion. So, I mean, the franchise has significantly increased its appeal. It's also significantly increased the amount of actors that have joined into it. And it has because also the entire impetus of the franchise boils down to one word: family. That's it. It's family. That's it. Right? That's all the movies are about, is just Vin Diesel and family, And so people love it because the whole concept, it ends with them sitting around a picnic table having a meal in most of the movies. They're back at their home base and they're having a meal with whoever new joined the crew. And they're talking about being a family. So it's there's a camaraderie there that people kind of get into because they go, okay, these people are like family. And they've been around for 20 years as of this month. So kind of like how some people grew up with the Harry Potter franchise, I assume just with an older age demographic, some people have gotten older.
They came out in the same year.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, Fast and Furious opened in I believe May, or no, it was June of 2001. And then Harry Potter opened, I want to say November 17th, 2001. It opened November 2001, that's for certain. Yeah.
Would you ever believe, seeing those two movies in that year, that Fast would actually end up being the longer lasting one to lead to a franchise? That's kind of crazy.
No, I mean, yeah, it's crazy because in 2001, only 4 Harry Potter books had come out, and before the first movie came out, I read them. because my sister basically like forced me to read them. At the time, I had time at work because they hated me at the drive-in. They actually wanted to fire me. It was my first year, and but instead of firing me, they put me on a position that was like checking tickets. But they literally put me out like on the other side of the property, and where no one would check on me for like 5 hours. So I would just sit out there in a chair and like, harass people as they came around the corner. But then I started reading the books. And, and I thought it was great. I liked it. I don't like being bothered at work. So it was fantastic. And, but I read all the books, enjoyed it. I mean, no, but you're right. You're right. It's kind of weird to think that Harry Potter, which ended 10 years ago, by the way.
Yeah, that's a while.
And that ended in 2011. And now we're looking at, or it was 2012. I forget which year. I think it was 2011.
I think part 2 was 2012.
Yeah, because it was, maybe. You know what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It was somewhere.
It doesn't matter. It's a long time ago. It's a long time ago.
Early 2010s.
I was in my 20s when that franchise ended, and I'm now almost in my 40s. And that is crazy that I'm still excited for the Fast and Furious movies, because that's going to be great. But anyway, that is kind of the Fast and Furious films in a nutshell. I would recommend you find a way to watch them. They are fun, but watch them 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, Tokyo Drift, 7, 8, 9.
I know you told me about that. That's the Jarbo order, right?
That is the Justin Lin. That is the Justin Lin cut right there. That's the official watch order of that franchise. That's what needs to be done. Here, okay, wow. Apparently, I missed some super chats here real quick.
Yeah,
sorry.
You got a few.
I got a couple. H Barts just says, "I'm your sponsor, Matt." You are an excellent sponsor of the program. Thank you very much, H Barts. I appreciate that one. And then we got Simon section here, talking about Loki, saying here, enjoyed Loki episode 1. My only concern is that I'm gonna have to rewatch Thor: The Dark World. I thought Loki would have been closer to his mom due to them both being magic users. Loki was always close with his mom, but he always has that whole thing of needing being adopted. That was a gigantic chip on his shoulder. And he was so angry in Thor: The Dark World. Keep in mind, that was right after Avengers Endgame, where he thought he had glorious purpose to take over Earth, to take over and run Midgard. That's what he thought. And at the end of the day, he didn't have that, but he had his mom, and his mom was like trying to talk to him, but he was still so full of rage. And yeah, go back and rewatch it, because you really do see that he screwed up bad. And I love that they brought that up. But again, I don't want to go too heavy into spoilers. But I like it anyway. And then Chile here says, Matt and Animax, you guys don't have to read this, but thanks so much for doing these live streams. Everything is so lonely and bad now because of COVID. No, man, it's all good, dude. It's all good. I'm happy to do it. I love doing it. Last night I was just tired. I just was too tired last night.
Animax. What the?
Yeah, you know what? You should go by Animax. That kind of works, right?
Animax.
Are you in the anime?
Kind of, but not particularly more than Western animation. No. I don't want to get labeled as a weeb.
Yeah, but I mean, like, people look at your avatar and they're already going to assume you're a weeb or a filthy degenerate.
It was made by a fucking British guy.
But does that British guy like anime?
No, he prefers Western animation, God damn it.
Well, then, good for him.
Well, you know what? God damn it.
I don't like anime, so for me, it's all good. For me, it's all good. I'm not an anime person. It's not like it's not that it's all terrible, but it's just I turn it on if it's some like weird 12-year-old child just incessantly screaming at the TV or whatever for some reason because they didn't get their Cheerios.
I mean, maybe a fucking children's anime, but not a fucking adult anime.
Well, I mean, you watch something like Dragon Ball, and it's just like Vegeta or Gogeta or whatever. Vegeta is it fajita? Not fajita. I know that. But it's
my god, it's Vegeta.
It's Vegeta. But come on. And you look at it and it's like, I mean, you kind of think that it's like also an item you might order from Applebee's. Okay, sizzling Vegetas.
No, here's the thing, right? They're all named after fucking vegetables. All the Saiyans are named after vegetables.
Could you imagine though, like there being a Dragon Ball Z appetizer tie-in with like Applebee's or something?
That'd be so fucking Chili's.
Chili's. Thank you, with Chili's, and it's just would you like some sizzling fajitas? what power level would you like? We have hot, medium, and over 9,000.
Oh
Which
man,
one?
you just had to go there, didn't
I had to
you?
go there. Yes, I did. Actually, I don't know much about it. I don't know.
I need
All I
some
know
Dragon Balls.
is the movie. The only thing I've seen is Sailor and the Seven Balls, which was a hentai.
What?
Yeah. So when I went to Comic-Con, I think it was like 2001. I was walking. They had a lot of porn there back then, right? A lot of adult stuff at Comic-Con.
Balls.
No, I'm not. Look it up.
No.
So anyway, I'm walking around. It's terrible, by the way. Like, it's so bad, but the animation is so stiff. I mean, it's designed to get other parts of you stiff, but really the animation is terrible. Anyway, so I'm walking around and I come across this guy, and he's like this French guy, and he's all like, "Hello, would you like to see my movie?" And I'm like, I'm playing it up. I don't really remember what he sounded like, but he was definitely French. And I'm like, "Oh, what do you guys like? I have this movie. It's called Star Balls. It's like a parody of Star Wars.
Oh man!
But it's a porn parody of Star Wars. So it's animated. It's animated.
I guarantee you that they were like, "Oh shit!" They already called the actual parody Spaceballs. What can we call it?
No, they called this one Star Balls.
That's
right.
dumb.
And it's like at one point you see like Darth Maul walk by, and it's just, instead of spikes, it's nipples. Right. And
That's
then, like,
dumb.
And then like Princess Leia like has to get out of her captivity, so she fucks a sperm trooper. And then like she's like sperm trooper. Not kidding. So it's like she goes like, "Does it hurt when it comes out?" And then keep in mind, like X-Men had just recently come out, and there's that line when Rogue and Logan are in the car or in the truck, and she looks at his hands and she like, "Does it hurt when they come out?" And then he goes, "Every time." And they just grabbed that line from that movie and added it into the context of getting a sperm trooper erect in order to do her thing with that. And then it's like Han is Goku. Like literally Han is Goku. And then Chewbacca is some other thing I don't know. And then C-3PO and R2-D2, like R2-D2 is like a trash can, I think. I don't know. It's something. It's so weird. But then at one point, like Han and Chewie have sex with like C-3PO and R2-D2. Hold on. Because the line that Goku or Han says, he goes like, "If I'm going to fuck this trash can, I'm going to fuck it in the ass." That's what he says in the movie. It's such a weird thing. And I know I've mentioned it on stream before, but it's such a weird movie. And so I bought it for like $20. On VHS, mind you. And then along with it, they were like, "Would you like to have this other one, this Sailor and this Seven Balls?" And I'm like, "Sure, okay, whatever. Just, let me just hide away my shame here." As I'm buying, like hentai or animated pornography.
Wait, you
at
bought
Comic-Con.
it?
Yeah, I bought it. It was like $20. It was a good deal.
What do you mean? It was like only $20?
This is like back during the early 2000s. The economy was strong.
No, that means it costed more than that it costed right now.
Yeah, but I feel like I got a better deal out of it.
Oh no, you didn't, Matt.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like one of those. No, it was imported from France. It was a bootleg VHS.
You paid for Star Balls, Matt.
It was technically included. So I mean, you can kind of argue that however you want to argue that. But the reality of it is, yeah, I paid for this thing and then I watched it and I showed my friends because it was funny. I don't know where it's at now. I thought I would have kept it. It's got to be in a bin somewhere. But then again, I think one of my friends was a bit of a thief and certain things ended up disappearing over the years from my bedroom.
Including Star Balls?
Maybe. Look, it's one of those like odd kind of collector's items. It's like a vintage porno, in my opinion. It'd be like, what if you were able to buy a copy of like the first Marilyn Monroe pornography, like full on penetration, it's like a rare item. I mean, sure, it exists in other mediums. Like you probably could find it on Google right now. But the idea here essentially is that, yes, I bought this thing. It's terrible. And that might be why I hate anime, because my first experience with this kind of thing was just so god awful that it just soured me to all of it.
Porn is something I care about for like 15 to 20 minutes every day and then never again. I don't care about the history of porn. I don't care about
but to better appreciate it, I believe you have to understand it. Because there are certain elements of that industry, both anime and pornography, that have transcended just like their core creation. And I think like in certain aspects of it, like it deserves to be like looked at as art. You know, not all of it, obviously, but it's art to somebody. You know, and so it's kind of weird to have those discussions. But anyway, so Jurassic World is that was a long ass rant for
The people some of the people in the chat are like, "What the fuck?" Look, I tried to rein that in the best I could. Jesus Christ, Matt.
I'm just saying, you know what? Like, people come here because I make very terrible jokes
About Starballs.
all the time. Jarbo loves steal Pokemon card. No, I didn't steal Pokemon cards. I believe I paid for them with Cracker Jacks.
Wait, what the? Oh, yeah, what H. Bart's just said could be conveyed in a very. You see that super chat? It could be conveyed.
Oh yeah, Matt is a Stephen Hawking's of porn. Well, that was the thing when we were doing the This Week in Strange, right? And I was all like, oh yeah, in my butt.
You did this to yourself. You made yourself the fucking Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, well, I was trying to make a joke about robotic sex bots and like cutting off genitalia.
Now you're Stephen Hawking of porn.
Yeah, there we go. Astro Joshua says, "I always love the strange rants." That's kind of, I think, part of the fun.
That's the best part.
That's kind of the fun. You know, that's kind of just where it is. Anyway, hold on here. And then Simon Session says, porn parody of Star Wars. Didn't Kevin Smith already do that? I can't wait for the revenge of the shit.
That sounds gross.
I think, no, that was from like Zack and Miri Make a Porno. But no, this was like something from 2001. So long before Zack and Miri Make a Porno. It really does exist. Like, hold on here. I'll find it. I'll just find the cover of it. Cause it's not that I'm obsessed with it. It's just such a weird thing. You know, like
fucking talking about porn parodies on here once again.
Well, I mean, yeah.
When's the porn parody podcast gonna happen, Matt?
I really am not like that into it. So, I mean, this is where my interest was a long time ago.
Lord Slug says Starballs watch party.
No. We're not doing a Star Wars. We're not doing that. I want to look to see. I found the box. I'm looking to see that it's appropriate enough for YouTube.
Look, if you have to even ask yourself that, it's probably not.
It's not like it's that bad. It's just, it might be just enough. Let's see. Here's loading. All right. Okay. So this is the box art for it. And
oh my God.
And it's Starballs, the movie in Sperma Universum.
What?
I don't know what that is. Sperma Universum. And yeah, it's this whole thing.
Come on, get the fuck out of here. Like,
this is a real thing. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. It really exists. Fuck, dude? You know what? I mean, like, and currently, apparently, you can buy it.
Wait, you can buy it?
Hold on. I'm trying to. God, fuck you. Oh my gee, I hate these stupid ass captchas, man. My God.
Captchas.
No, yeah, it's all like okay. This is on
you gotta prove you're not a robot, man.
Yeah, you gotta prove you're not a robot by choosing all the motorcycles in this image. Well, why am I choosing all the motorcycles in this image? Because you're teaching Google what motorcycles are. Yeah, but doesn't Google already know what motorcycles are? Apparently not. You gotta teach them.
Wow.
So anyway, I just googled Starballs here, and apparently you can get it for $11.24 on DVD from Walmart.com.
Wait.
It is.
Wait a minute.
And it's under jewelry, women's jewelry and watches, women's jewelry, women's necklaces and pendants, fashion necklaces and pendants, Starballs the DVD. That is a real listing. That is a real listing, and it's got a $5. And by the way, today is June 9th, so it is 69 day. Just so you guys know. So that's why but yes, Bayview Entertainment. What else is Bayview Entertainment selling here?
Good lord.
They have a movie called Intergalactic Swingers.
Are you serious?
They've got yeah. They got a movie here called Intergalactic. What is this? What is the description here? Okay, so hold on. I'll take a quick screenshot. Intergalactic Swingers. This is why I love looking at the weirdest crap on the internet. You know, like when we were doing Boulder Talk and like, hey, let's look what's on Etsy.
Yeah, that was some of the most fun fucking shit to just talk about, you know?
Yeah, there you go. I'll take that. Okay. So this is called Intergalactic Swingers. This is a movie. Yeah, so it just looks like whatever. Okay. Take Me to Your Leader. Okay, fine. And the original this is what they describe it as. When a deadly asteroid threatens to destroy Earth, two beautiful space aliens step in to save the day and sample sex with Earth's men and women. Beautiful starlets Erica Jordan, Christy Stevens, and Chrissy Lynn are featured in this outrageous erotic comedy from the experts at WarnerMedia Entertainment. Includes the coming attractions trailer, Intergalactic Swingers, Country of Origin, Barbados. I'm not kidding you, from Barbados.
All right. Well, you know what? Honestly, I'm officially convinced that porn plots becoming a thing of the past is a good thing. I completely disagree with you, Matt. Porn plots, it's time for them to die just based on that. That's so cringe. It's cringe, Matt. Like, this is what porn plots have turned into. Just stupid fucking parodies. Like Super Hornio Brothers. You know that Nintendo owns that, right? Nintendo actually owns a fucking snuff film about Mario.
Really?
Yeah,
Super Hornio Brothers?
Yeah, look it up. I don't know if it's on Wikipedia, but it might be.
I mean, like, there's a lot that's on Wikipedia.
I believe Nintendo officially owns it. It's like a Mario-themed porno, and it's officially owned by Nintendo. They bought it out sometime in the 90s. Yeah, pretty fucking crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, there's apparently been a sequel.
Super Hornio Brothers 2.
Super Hornio Brothers 2. Is that Ron Jeremy? Is that like where that Ron Jeremy one came from?
I don't think it's actually Ron Jeremy in that. Maybe it is.
It looks a bit like Ron Jeremy. All right, so according to Wikipedia here, Super Hornio Brothers and Super Hornio Brothers 2 are 1993 pornographic parodies of Super Mario Brothers video game series released at the same time as the series' official film, Super Mario Brothers. Both films star director Buck Adams, along with T.T. Boy, Ron Jeremy, and Chelsea Links together as the main characters.
Wait, Ron Jeremy's actually in it? Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, he's Mario. Have you never seen the Ron Jeremy Mario thing?
I just thought that was just like a Photoshop from back in the day.
No. I mean, like, it's not. No, it's literally like Ron Jeremy as Mario. Like, it's.
Wait a minute. So if this is following the games, does that mean Super Mario Brothers 2 was all a wet dream?
Well, Super Mario Brothers 2, I think in many people's instances was probably a bit of a wet dream, yeah. But
oh, Jesus Christ!
I
meant the porn parody, man.
Well, I'm also saying the way that Princess Peach was running in that dress. Anyway, yeah, this is a real promotional photo from that. Yeah,
a promotional photo. It's not a promotional.
It's a promotional photo. It's not.
That's not how you describe it. It's not a promotional.
It's a promotion. Yeah, it's totally a promotional photo. It's absolutely a promotional photo for that. But yeah, so the movie, and then Nintendo bought the rights to the film. I guess because someone from Something Awful wrote a review of it. I might have to do a audio commentary on this. I might have to really dive in. I wonder if I could reach out to Buck Adams and ask Buck Adams. I would say I would ask like, let's say Ron Jeremy, but he's currently facing like life in prison for, rape.
Yeah, look, I don't want to be controversial. I don't want to ever be on a stream with Ron Jeremy. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So we'll have to, you know what? I'm going to save this article. I'm going to bookmark it so I can come back to it later on. Obviously for like, educational purposes.
Oh my God, Matt.
What? Educational?
That. You made a conscious decision to say that out loud.
Because I am a researcher, Annie. I am a researcher and a documentarian of fine internet culture and just weird shit.
All right. All right.
Besides, that's just amazing. It's Ron Jeremy. Just
It's not amazing. He's a bad dude.
Wait, hold on here. Fourth is like, what? Ron Jeremy's going to jail. Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, this is. I learned about that recently, apparently.
Yeah, no, this was from a couple of years ago. Ron Jeremy got, he's been accused of a lot of things. Multiple sexual assaults that have like stemmed from, what is it? Like, it stemmed mostly from I think like drugging, like, you know, kind of the way that Bill Cosby was. Yeah. You know, here go cool. Has it occurred to you to talk about Fast and Furious instead of porno? Has it occurred to you to stop being a prude?
Has it occurred to you to talk about the Fast and Furious porn parody?
I don't even know. I'm sure one exists. I don't personally know if one exists, but anyway, hold on.
Oh my God.
This is, I haven't looked at now. Look at this. So this is Jeremy from last year, like in court, like, you know, and he has been, okay. More than a dozen women have publicly accused Ron Jeremy of sexual assault. Several of the allegations relate to his appearances at fan conventions, alleging that he would grope and insert his fingers into attendees without their consent. Organizers of the Exotica National Adult Conventions permanently banned him into October 2017 after a social media campaign from webcam model Ginger Banks. Due to the allegations, the Free Speech Coalition and industry trade group rescinded his Positive Image Award, which they had presented to him in 2009. In June of 2020, he was charged with 4 counts of rape and sexual assault by the LA District Attorney's Office. And he's pled not guilty to all of this. So, but he is facing, they also filed more counts in August of 2020. The Los Angeles prosecutors filed more than 20 more counts that included charges of rape, sexual assault, sodomy, forceful penetration.
That's really fucked up, man.
Yeah. So apparently, he is placed into custody and he is now at the Twin Towers Correctional Facility in Los Angeles, California. I don't know about you. I'm just going to say it. That's kind of an effed up name for a correctional facility. The Twin Towers.
Wait, what? I just realized what you said. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I don't think that sounds like a comforting place to be. I'm just going to say that much.
Jess here makes a great point. You like researching internet depravity / culture, yet you badmouth anime.
I really like that thing Patrick McNeil said earlier about Vader with the helmet off.
What did he say?
He says he looks like Vader when he took the helmet off.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. It's a lot of the drugs. It's a lot of the drugs. Okay.
That was funny.
All right. To get back into some of the super chats here, H-Bard's here. Another $2 says Zack Snyder's Just Ass Lube. Jesus Christ.
All right, settle down, folks.
That's a product you can sell, buddy. Simon's section here says one would think that Star Trek would have allegedly boldly go into a sex parody, swinging 60s and all. Well, I mean, there are I believe Star Trek porn parodies. I do believe that they exist.
I'm sure there's plenty of those.
I mean, I could only imagine like the, Spock scene where it's just like zero emotion on the face of the guy, and he's just like, that would be funny, I think. Anyway. And then HR's here with $5 says Matt gives Underhaven PTSD every stream. No, I don't. No, I don't. But I aim to. And then Ryan here says, calm down, folks. Matt has no idea what he's talking about when it comes to anime.
That's true.
Peak degeneracy, Ryan. Peak degeneracy.
You're an anime scrub, man.
Hold on. Jarbo, you insulted my beautiful anime girl statue and you call me a prude? Yeah, you know why? Because you put a shirt on her. You put a shirt.
That's that person?
Yeah, you put a shirt on your anime girl with big old titties. You put a shirt on that, and that's prudish. That's like you. That's you being shamed. You have shame of owning that statue, Gahul. Take off the shirt, free the titty. Right. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is coming up in October, I believe. So there you go. Anyway, let's get back into the thing here about Fast and Furious, because this is actually kind of cool. How the hell did we even get off topic? It doesn't even matter.
We always do.
That was a long off topic though. All right, so this 5-minute presentation will be the first clip from the movie to be released, and it comes long before the movie's opening in next summer. So the sequence reportedly starts out with a scene set over 65 million years ago, serving as an origin story of sorts for the franchise, with various creatures all being shown with as realistic look as possible based on the current scientific knowledge. So the T-Rex has some proto-feather body hair this time. So instead of just like making it look like we thought they would look back in the 90s, they're like, well, science has proven that velociraptors really aren't what we said that they were in these movies, so we're going to make everything else look realistic. And then the director did tell Slash Film that we took on the challenge of realizing it in a way that feels both tactile and alive and present, and not just like a bunch of computer rendering as quickly as they can. It was a real challenge, and ILM was up to it, and our animators and everybody took it on and was excited about it, as I was, because they're dinosaurs and they're awesome. The prehistoric sequence gives way to a modern scene with the T-Rex that we know from the previous films, on the run from authorities and crashing through a movie drive-in showing American Graffiti and Flash Gordon. Okay. And then says Trevorrow says that the creature has her own arc in the film. This is really setting up her arc in the third film. The T-Rex has been through a lot. I want her to live in peace. That's all I want for her. So hopefully the audience will want the same thing. I think because, Rexy has been like a fan favorite. Like you've seen the Jurassic Park movies, right?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really stick with me that well. I mean, they're okay. Like the new ones. I mean, I like the original Jurassic fucking Park. But.
Well, so like in the original, Rexy at the end of Jurassic Park saved the day. And then Rexy kind of saved the day again in Jurassic World. And then Rexy was another part, I think, of Fallen Kingdom. And then they want to kind of give Rexy like, a final let her live in peace sort of thing, which I get, which I kind of understand that.
I guess it's the most consistent character in the franchise. So.
Probably, yeah, probably. And then so Jurassic World just put out this thing today saying, experience a special extended preview of Jurassic World Dominion with Fast 9 only in IMAX. And that's pretty cool. I won't lie. I think that's pretty cool that they're going to be doing that, because I really like the Fast and Furious franchise, and I like the Jurassic World franchise. And so, merging the two in regards to just kind of promoting Dominion is going to be pretty dope.
But you know what this says? You know what this says to me? I think this says like, they're starting to have more faith in theaters again. They're going to start pushing shit like this and actually try and get butts in fucking seats, because we're going to start seeing a lot more of this as time goes on, just because we're starting to pry ourselves out of the pandemic.
Well, yeah, and they want to get people back to go see IMAX movies and get comfortable going to theaters. Like today was weird because I went to the park with my girlfriend and my kids, and we're both vaccinated. And, in Washington, they've said, hey, if you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask at all. Like, you're pretty good. But we kind of still wear one even outside, like normally, like around other people, just like out of courtesy, Sure. And the thing is, though, but no one at the park had a mask on. And then I forgot mine as well. And so I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm walking around without a mask on, and it felt real awkward. But then at the same time, it's like, reintegrating ourselves back into that kind of community is going to be very, interesting. So it's like when I go see a movie, like when I saw Army of the Dead, there's only maybe 6-7 other people in the theater. And but I still kept my mask on, because you just don't know. Right. And it's such a weird thing. So it's going to take a bit of time to get us past all that. But I'm just excited to go back and, see movies. I think I'm going to try to go see Fast 9 in IMAX.
Cool.
I'll just pay the money. Because HBards here is a personal sponsor of the of the channel, so that would be great. Let's see. Hold on here. Gahul says, Jarbo, you insulted my beautiful anime girl statue. And the King Shimmer thing. It said, Jarbo, it was a rock shirt that she was proud to wear it. She's an inanimate object, right? Like, she's not real. So you're proud that she was wearing that shirt, Gahul. You were proud. That's okay, man. Rock your kink, dude. Rock your kink. Have fun. And let's see here. Ryan Hartwell says, to push the ridiculousness level even further, the Fast and Furious gang should go back in time to ride the dinosaurs. Yes.
Oh my god.
Well, so no, but like the thing is, like, there's been talks about like the Fast and Furious franchise crossing over with with Jurassic World.
How do you honestly feel about just like a Fast and the Furious crossover with anything?
Oh, honestly, it's dumb as all hell, right? It's
yeah. I mean, just as an
100%
outsider
stupid.
looking in, it seems really dumb as an
Oh
idea.
yeah, I mean it completely break whatever world building they've done over the span of the last 20 years. It would just go so it would be jumping the shark, nuking the fridge, whatever terminology you want to use. That is obviously what it would be. At the same time, though, I would be there preview night, dead center, watching the fuck out of that movie.
Oh my god.
Because I am a fan, sir. I am a fan. And I will go see something that is going to be nothing more than just crossover fan fiction.
Jesus
because
Christ.
I like both franchises, and fuck you.
Because of you, Matt, we're gonna get like Fast versus Godzilla versus Kong or something like that.
No, those are over at Warner Brothers. I don't think so. I've heard people suggest like Fast and Furious versus what is it? Fast and Furious versus Transformers.
Oh,
Right?
I've heard of that before.
Bringing
too.
that over, and see that kind of feels more in line than like Dominic Toretto riding like a Triceratops.
At least
in the
they turn
battle.
into vehicles, you know, like it's
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah.
They could at least turn into the fast cars that they need in order to like get away from the Decepticons. You know,
It
could. I mean, there's at least some viability to like, okay, people driving fast cars, robots from another planet that end up turning into fast cars.
That's pretty cool. Actually.
That's going to
Yeah.
be something. That's $1 billion idea right there. And here's the thing: right now, it's entirely possible.
True.
It's because, I mean, it's like entirely anything could happen at this point. We don't know where because all these companies, all these studios are going to more or less kind of end up, going into like, they're going to be all IP mining everything they can IP mine. And the reason why is because they need to hold on to that nostalgia as a way to make sure that they end up getting, that they can continuously make the money. Real quick here. H Bart says Transformer, Jurassic Park, and Fast and Furious crossover. Fuck it, do it, fund it. I would watch it. Why not?
Oh my god.
Why not? Why not?
That's
like
too
Transformers, Robots in Disguise, Beast War edition. I mean,
wait, are those even all the same studio? They are.
no,
right?
no. Jurassic Park and Fast and Furious are. Transformers is Paramount. But then again, Paramount's kind of in the shitter when it comes to money, so they might be willing to do a crossover.
I don't know. How do you think that Paramount Plus is going to do well?
Well, Paramount Plus just dropped like 1,000 new movies on their service, and like
I think it's going to do well. Honestly.
Well, and they just did one today too. I think it comes out tomorrow. Actually, it's the Mark Wahlberg movie called Infinity, and it's directed by Anton Fuqua, right? So that's kind of, it's like, and Anton Fuqua has done like a lot of movies. He's a good director, and I haven't seen a trailer for this movie. I literally have like no idea what it exactly is going to entail. But at the same time, it's like, well, okay, I'll check it out this weekend.
I feel like it's obviously not going to be bigger than fucking Disney Plus or Netflix. I think that's very clear. But will it be bigger than HBO Max? I think the question.
Oh, I mean, at this point, it's not hard to be bigger than HBO Max.
Is it already bigger than HBO Max? I'm not.
I don't know. I don't know if it is or isn't or whatnot. Like they're gonna Paramount has a lot of product. Like they merged over the CBS All Access people as well. So I don't know how many numbers they've got. We're going to have to wait for the next earnings call to really kind of talk about that.
I think it'll be a pretty strong performance.
Well, it's $5. It's like $5 a month. It's
really?
It's like there's ads on there, but it's like $5 is nothing. I pay 15 for Netflix. I pay 15 for HBO Max. And I'm like looking at HBO Max like, you know what? Like, I might just cancel it for right now because it's like, it's this stuff. There's not a lot of stuff there. And I do want to kind of get to the next thing.
Sure.
But H Bart's here. $2 is Fast and Furious and Speed crossover. Is Speed Universal or Speed Fox? Speed movie. Hold on, let me take a look here. Speed 1994 film put out by 20th Century Fox. So that's currently a Disney property at this point. So I'm sorry. that
speaking of Universal, I'm really surprised that Universal doesn't try and like work with Marvel like Sony does. I don't know why there isn't like a new Hulk film or hasn't been. It doesn't really make any sense. They should come to a deal, right? I don't know.
Well, Universal doesn't need it right now. Universal is just putting Hulk in the back pocket, essentially. You know,
Okay,
that's basically about it. In my opinion, that's more or less like what they're trying to do. And I think they're just holding on. They're holding on to it as a way to kind of more or less F with Disney, to be fair. And then hold on, H parts. iCarly is going to be my jam. Oh, that's
look, you'll make fun of that, Matt, but like that was the show that I grew up with when I was like when I was like a kid.
You all just babies. Y'all just babies.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about that reboot too. It's being clearly aimed at people my age because in the first trailer for it, they were like, "Whoa, now the characters can say damn and crap and wow." It's still the same humor though. So
we're finally old enough to come on, you know,
but it's still like childish humor. It seems like I don't know, just based on that one trailer.
It's iCarly. They're not going to go too out of the way with that. They just really aren't. I've never seen
like
iCarly.
The Fuller House. It's basically like the Fuller House.
Okay, Fuller House is actually fucking funny though. I will stand by that.
I think Fuller House is funny.
Yes, Fuller House was funny. Yes, it was.
Wait,
but I
think Fuller House funny.
But I grew up with Full House.
Me too.
So like the characterization. So I mean, I see your point. I mean, it'd be like if they brought back Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Right, with the cast, with the same Will Smith, minus James Avery, sadly. But it's like if they brought back most everybody, and then like it would be okay, cool. They'll be able to kind of do that now. But on the other hand, when Netflix acquired the rights to Arrested Development and they did season 4 was pretty bad. Like I could never finish it. It was so bad. And the reason why too is Jason Bateman and Will Arnett, they binge watched all of season 1 of Arrested Development in order to get back into character because it had been so long since they had done it, rather than getting in rewatching season 3, which is where their characters relatively ended up, which was slightly different, but it would have been something that they were more kind of, it would have had more of an old hat feel. Instead, Arrested Development season 4 was bad. It just wasn't funny. And I don't know if they did a season 5. I just stopped caring. So it's like some of those things, they can work well. They maybe won't work well. I mean, if you are happy for an iCarly reboot and Miranda Cosgrove is your jam, same with you, H Barts, by all means, you know what? Like,
what? I'm gonna give it a try. I'll watch. I'll see what the fuck's up with it. Just if only just to be like, why the fuck did I do this? I'll give it a try. Why the fuck not? Because you know what, Matt, you watched Fuller House. So don't judge me for being willing to watch this.
Oh, hold on here. Hoffcat says, "Why the fuck did this come up on my next play? Jarbo was pathetic. I want nothing to do with this sad shit." Yeah, but you still said something, dude. Yeah. You're still like, I don't even know who the fuck is Hoffcast. Now I'm curious.
Hoffcast.
Now, yeah. Who's Hoffcast here? Hold on. Is this a person who's like trying to like fucking LARP as David Hoffman? Oh, okay. Who the fuck is this guy?
The Muffcast.
Yeah. I don't know. This is just like...
Yeah, you know what, Hoffcast? Go choke on a muff. Jackass. Jesus.
I don't know. It's some dude on his phone. You're shooting it in fucking portrait mode, dude. You're literally vlogging in portrait mode. I mean, you want to talk about cancer. Okay? I mean, like, come on, dude. Come on, man. You've got 9. You just uploaded the video 53 minutes ago.
Look,
you've got 8 views.
Matt,
all right.
Some people don't know how to flip their phone, dude.
I got one of those like pop things on the back of mine.
The type of person who comes into a stream and just like bitches about it and then immediately leaves.
Oh, why the fuck did I come up in this next play? Oh my god, I'm not gonna use that shit. Yes. I don't ever like to attack someone's channel because everyone's at different stages of their growth. But I mean,
no, yeah, I get that.
But at the same time, if you're gonna like
talk shit,
he's got a video from a day ago titled "The Coronavirus Tests Were Never Legitimate." Okay,
I'm
literally not gonna take anything you say with anything, with any value whatsoever. Please find the nearest penis and choke on it. How about that, right? But respectfully and get consent.
Yeah,
And don't die,
yeah.
but just know that you're not wanted here or anywhere. So
Wow, that's true. All right, well.
anyway, all right. Fourth here at $5 says Fast and Furious and the Goblet of Fire, Fast and Furious at the Edge of Reason. Yep, crossover with Bridget Jones's Diary. Well, if I recall, Bridget Jones's Diary is actually a Universal property, whereas Harry Potter is Warner Brothers. But because of the deal that they made with Universal Studios in order to bring out the world of Harry Potter, it's more likely to get a Harry Potter and Fast and Furious crossover sometime before 2025 when those deals expire. I'm just saying, contractually looking at it, it could be a possibility.
Oh man,
it could be a legitimate possibility. That could be a thing.
Fantastic World of Beasts haven't really captured people's attention, so
yeah,
they might get desperate.
Let's see here. Drake and Josh, iCarly, and Victorious are legendary. I don't know, man. I mean, how? Like, did you hear about what happened with Drake Bell?
Yeah, I heard about what happened with Drake. Yeah, we all heard about that.
It's all like his name now is what, Drake Campena, right? Because he moved to Mexico and he
you know what that means, right? That's Spanish for Bill.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's Spanish for Bill.
He just like the dude is like the guy looks like a more tweaked out version of
Drake Bell.
Oh my God, what's his name?
He looks like a tweaked out Drake Bell because that's what he is.
Well, he is a tweaked out Drake. Oh man, he's an SNL writer.
That's boomer shit, Matt. SNL's boomer shit.
Oh, shut your mouth.
It is.
Shut your mouth.
It is.
Oh man, John Mulaney, right? He looks like a younger and more tweaked out version of John Mulaney.
John Delaney?
John Mulaney.
Oh, okay.
You don't know who John Mulaney is?
No.
You fucking monster.
Sounds like that dude that looks like Homer Simpson and ran for president. That's all I can think of.
Wait, who's the guy? What, Howard Dean?
No, there's this guy in
what? That guy?
It was in 2020. No, it was in 2020. His name was John Delaney. He looks like goddamn fucking Homer Simpson.
Oh,
see, Tony Izzo remembers him.
You know what? I tuned out like anyone that wasn't Bernie Sanders. I'm just not. I'll just be fair. Like, you know,
Wait, what about that one? What about that one lady who actually endorsed? Her name's slipping my mind right now. She was cool too.
Who? Marianne Williamson?
Yeah, that's.
I worked with Marianne Williamson. Back in 2012.
You better have not tuned her out.
I did tune her out because she's fucking insane.
No, hey, like, you know,
no. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. She's a progressive.
Right? Yeah, but you gotta respect. Look. Here's what we need to just say real fast. She was the only person who actually endorsed Bernie out of that entire crowd, so I'll give respect for that.
Okay, fine. I mean, I get that too, and you know, I mean, yeah, sure, I get that. Fine. All right, cool.
All right.
You've got me. You've got me on that one. But at the same time, I've been to her condo in West Hollywood, and so you know, like, I know. Hold on, okay.
All right.
Hold on. So I just had to go and find the images to put together real quick of Drake Campena and John
Drake Bell.
Drake, Mr. Drake Bell.
What? I'm sorry. Did I dead name Drake Bell? I'm sorry.
Is that? I don't think that's considered a dead name.
Yeah, it's not. Like, I'll call him Drake Bell all I want. I'm not gonna call him Drake Campella or whatever. Like
Campena. Hola, ¿cómo está? Es muy bien. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Shit, now people are talking about big time rush and shit. Like, come on.
Here, this is so. Drake Bell on the left, John Mulaney on the right. Kind of looks like a more tweaked out. I mean, he looks older. Drake Bell literally looks older than John Mulaney.
But he's not.
I don't think he is. I mean, John Mulaney's
no, he's
my
definitely
age.
Not.
Yeah. John Mulaney's my age. He's like 38. Drake Bell is 34. Damn.
Yeah, he was like in his 20s when I was like
that is
a kid.
Weird.
So
that's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Pretty crazy shit.
Yeah.
I think that's. I don't
I
know.
mean, but that's kind of the whole point, isn't it? Like, it's just like, it just Hollywood has a way of really messing with you. It has a way of really kind of like making you older than you are.
Well, like, okay, he wasn't quite a child star, but he was still involved in that when he was really young. Because
Yeah.
I know he wasn't involved when he was like a little kid, but he was still involved in acting at a young age. So
Yeah. So
that
what you're
fucks
saying,
anyone out.
he's not a boy, but not yet a woman.
Oh my god.
What? It's like that. There's a Britney Spears song that goes like that, right?
Yeah,
Like
I know.
I'm not a girl,
I got the reference. I
but
can't believe you
not
made it.
yet a woman. I don't know, man. Like I
Fucking
looked at
Britney.
I
Jesus.
look. She hit the scene when I was 17. Okay, she was
Oh,
18.
really?
I was 17. She's like a year older than me.
She was still
And-
relevant when I was young, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, she was really relevant when I was.
She was
young.
one of the biggest like names in pop culture for a
Yeah,
while.
she was
wasn't she?
super relevant when I was a teenager at the end of my teen years. It's all like I had her album, like a lot of like there was one night in particular where we got the Hit Me Baby One More Time single on CD back when singles were a thing and CDs were a thing.
Singles.
Totally dating myself for the late
Oh,
90s.
geez.
So my friend's brother picks me up in his wife's car. And we all go to this is in the winter, like it's in January and it's in downtown Portland. And we have like the heaters blasting in the car, all the windows down. And we're playing the Hit Me Baby One More Time single on literal repeat for like an hour, just bombing through downtown Portland on like a Saturday night. And it was like 20 degrees outside, but we had the heaters on in the car. And I don't remember why we did that or the general outcome of why we did that. But we did it for some reason as teenagers in the late 90s. That was what we did one night. We noise polluted downtown Portland with Britney Spears,
Oh my god.
But
You're
do
the
you ever-
reason I can't get sleep at night. People like you.
probably.
People just blasting their fucking music with no regard to anybody else, Matt. Jesus Christ.
Well, you just like you said, CDs. And then, oh my God. And then YouTube, it says here, oh my God, Matt's a Britney Spears fan. No. I'm not, I don't know if I'd say anymore. Like I appreciate Britney Spears for the work that she's done. I do appreciate Britney Spears for like her contributions to pop culture. And I also appreciate Britney Spears because she's always been fucking hot.
Do you think it's like fucked up that she doesn't have any self autonomy, basically because of her parents'
Yes.
fault? And now
Yeah. Oh no,
that's-
I'm totally hashtag free Britney. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like, oh no, I looked into that too. And I mean, the conservatorship that her dad put her under. I mean, like, look, K-Fed fucked her up in my mind. I think K-Fed, and Paris Hilton too, by the way. Paris Hilton and Britney used to hang out. And Paris gave Britney a lot of drugs from my understanding. That's my understanding of it. So if I'm wrong, great. But my understanding is that she gave her like a lot of drugs and Britney already had a lot of problems because look, Britney, like, let's be fair. Britney was super sexualized as a teenager. And even, if you go and you listen to her first album, like of course you have the song Hit Me Baby One More Time, where she is in like that iconic schoolgirl outfit talking about getting hit, which could be, like getting spanked or something. So like, as a teenager looking at that, you're like, yeah, I'd hit that baby, not just one time, but like all the times.
Jesus Christ.
Because you're a horny teenager. But as an adult, you look back on it and you're like, that might be kind of
Sus.
bad. It's a little sus.
Sus.
Not as much as that chicken nugget that sold for $100,000, but still pretty
Oh, wait,
sus.
stop.
And
Stop.
and so there's that. But then also there's another song on there called Sometimes. And it was like her second single on the album. And the chorus is like, sometimes I laugh, sometimes I cry, sometimes I'm scared of you. Like that's the chorus in the song. And there's a lot of these like subversive messages in her in the lyrics about physical abuse, it feels like, or mental or emotional abuse. And then you kind of apply that down the road a little bit and you start looking at like her breakdown with K-Fed, the shaving of the head, all the crap that she was into. And then like the whole thing of her family coming in, like taking over her money, her dad specifically controlling every aspect of her life for years, for like literal years. And it's just wild to think about because you can kind of trace it back a little bit to that first album. I mean, it might be a stretch, and I'll admit it might be a stretch, but it's something that's been on my mind for like almost 20 years now. As I look at Britney Spears and I'm like, man, like I've always enjoyed her music, but I've always felt that she's kind of been trapped in the machine. and people were always just like gaslighting her and like emotionally abusing
Yeah,
her
that's true.
and like passing her around in order to have the cycle start anew. And here she is 40 and she still doesn't have control over her, like her autonomy. And it's just like, I mean, come on, like, you know,
It's really
eventually,
fucked up.
eventually her dad is going to die. And I wouldn't be surprised if we find out Brittany did it, you know, like, because they don't, as far as I understand, like they don't see each other, but he still has all that legal control over her.
That's so messed up.
So yeah, it's just crazy stuff. Anyway, now that we're like, yeah, we're on that depressing topic. H Bart's here says, I did not like Zoe 101. Big Time Rush was okay.
Hey, do you want to know? Do you remember why that show? I don't know if you ever heard about that. You know why that show ended, Zoe 101? Because Jamie Lynn Spears got fucking preggers and they had to stop.
Oh yeah. There's a short. I'm not even going to talk about that.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
We did a pretty stupid short film one night. I found it once. I played it on stream once, I think. Yeah. What, K-Fed is up to six kids now?
What?
That's crazy. Oh, hold on here. Wait. Minmin says we're almost at 70 minutes into this and you still have not discussed the actual headline. Actually, no, I did discuss the actual headline. It took a little bit of time to get there because we went on this really weird, you know, roundabout to get back to it. But we did talk about Jurassic Park, and I did want to touch upon this article here. This is the thing behind this. This came out this morning, and I've seen a lot of people on Twitter today. Like I woke up this morning and like some of the diehard Snyder fans were just like, and Sarnoff is out at WarnerMedia, and Toby Emmerich might be too. And it's like this article. They're referring to this article. And there's nothing in this article that mentions Toby Emmerich. There's one mention of Ann Sarnoff. But the whole point of it is, you know, Jason Kilar is the CEO of WarnerMedia. And his bold moves last year have caused some waves because he was the one that was like, look, let's move all of these movies over to HBO Max as well as going to theaters. And we'll use it as a way to bolster our subscriptions and to build up things from there. The problem with that, though, is it didn't work out in the way that they wanted to. They've only got 11 million. It only added 11 million new subscribers last year, and they haven't expanded yet into the international territories as much as they should have. And that's a big factor as well. Is that they have HBO Go and HBO, or is it HBO Now? I don't even know. It's so confusing with how Time Warner developed HBO, how it developed HBO, and how it broke it into these different like tier categories or these different, you know,
It's
streaming
really
services.
hard to understand.
Yeah, and so I understand like Jason Kilar is trying to streamline everything, and he made some very bold decisions that cost him a lot of goodwill with people. Like there are people that are kind of now banking on him getting fired for nothing more than just Schadenfreude. You know, and I get it, like, you know, and even like some people in this article to talk about that. But the thing to remember with this article is that Jason Kilar himself did something that no one else had the balls to actually fucking do. Right? Like no one else has had the balls to actually do this. They have sat there and they have complained about everything, but he was the one who was like, let's make this very bold stance. And he also is the one who pushed the Snyder Cut and the 70 million into that. But one of the things this article talks about is how he had to keep fighting the AT&T guys for money, for budgets for these shows as they start expanding into international markets and expanding out there, and they need to start developing more content from their IPs. That's going to cost a lot of money. And that is something that, again, is kind of not being talked about, and why a lot of people are still people in the Snyder Cut fandom are throwing shade at Jason Kilar. It's like, look, the guy, he helped get this thing done that everybody wanted to get done. And then after that, it was like the AT&T people, they're the ones who are going to, you know, they're going to close up their checkbooks. And now they're going to spin off everything into another company with a new CEO that's probably going to end up replacing Jason Kilar, at least once the transition, I think in the next year and some change gets done. But the thing you got to consider here, dude, is that ultimately there's, you know, David Zaslav has admitted that he's going to spend like $20 billion on new content, but that $20 billion is going to be seriously stretched out. It's not going to be for a couple couple key things. I mean, you're going to get your Game of Thrones. Obviously, that is the most important franchise right now to HBO. It's not DC content. It is literally Game of Thrones, because they know that Game of Thrones was their big power player and they need more of it. And they also need Harry fucking Potter, by the way. They need fantasy and they need sci-fi more than they need comic book, because the comic book market is already cornered by Loki and what Disney's doing. And DC cannot compete. Let's be real. DC cannot compete with any of that. They simply have not been able to, and they're not going to bring back Zack Snyder.
Yeah, before anyone says that, just, let's start looking towards the future. Zack Snyder seems quite happy working with Netflix, so I don't expect him to leave anytime soon.
No, of course not. Why would, I mean, the thing is, like, apparently the Snyder Cut did really well, which is fantastic. But at the end of the day, it's also been nearly 3 months since the damn thing came out, and there still hasn't been an official numbers report that came out from Warner Brothers. Deborah Snyder and Zack Snyder have not seen the numbers themselves. Zack's own admission that Warner Brothers has not contacted him since he sent them the final copy of the Snyder Cut, and all of these things that have happened, right? All of these things that have gone on, they have done everything they can to basically signal, we want nothing to do with you. And this new guy is not the savior. I'm sorry, he's not the savior. He's the guy who's going to come on in and pump and dump content, because look at his empire of Discovery. Does Discovery and TLC and IDTV and a lot of their other outlets, do they create a lot of what you would call quality content? No, they don't.
It's all trash.
It's just low budget, easily shot reality TV garbage that pollutes the name The Learning Channel. My fucking God.
They don't care about the creator. They just seem to give a shit about, like you said, easy to digest, dumbed down content that appeals to the lowest fucking common denominator. Well, okay, maybe you didn't say that, but I'll just go ahead and add that on top.
Yeah. And so it's just ridiculous. The whole thing is just ridiculous. Zaslav is going to create content that is cheap to make and can get a return. And he knows what a big amount of it is true crime. Let's be fair. True crime and informative murder porn is massively huge. And that's going to be something that they're going to want to focus on. If they do take the concept of like some of these shows, and they start merging the IPs with other true crimes. I mean, like I've said before, imagine a show where it's kind of like a talking head show. It's like the Batman Chronicles, right? Or like they call it World's Greatest Detective. And it's just Batman, and he's sitting there, and he's, older, grizzled Batman, and he's all like, well, let me tell you the time I took down Zaz, and he's like smokes a stogie, and he just tells you the story about like how Victor Zaz was killing people with knives, and Batman had to solve the case using his detective skills. That is actually something that if it was done well, I would watch. That'd be kind of cool.
That's quite a good idea for a series, actually. Something like that.
They could also hire me over there at Warner Brothers Discovery.
They could also explore that type of thing if they were to do like some sort of a Batman Beyond series, and also they could have segments like that where they, like, I don't know, they could do like a 2-segmented show where they kind of reflect like an old Batman story and how that kind of plays into like a modern story today with Terry McGinnis and his incarnation of Batman. I think that would be very cool too if they did something like that. So you have a great idea.
That's going to have to more or less be what they're trying to, what they're going to have to do with it, because it's going to be able to, like, again, IP mine, but keep it a bit on the lower budget. And I have a feeling that it can work in some ways, but it's not going to work what people want. The Snyder Cut fandom is never going to go away, ever. They're just never going to go away. And the reality of it is like the people at WarnerMedia, they know that, and they probably realize that they made a mistake by giving them what they want. But at the end of but the movie is popular. And so maybe they'll find a way. Maybe they will. Maybe I'm wrong, and they'll find a way to be able to make it work. I just don't really see that happening. And it's just mostly because of the budgets of where they want to move everything into. And here's the thing with this too. Had they held off on the Snyder Cut until they had a worldwide rollout, which is what they should have done.
I'm surprised they didn't.
Yeah, it's like, because considering all the stuff overseas, it would have been, I believe, absolutely positively undeniable from a worldwide perspective. Now, I also never looked into how many people torrented the Snyder Cut, because that gives you an idea as well about how popular it was for people to check out without paying for it. So they've done, I mean, it's done well. It's done very well. But at the end of the day, you can tell the company wants to move past it. And they're going to move past it. And what they're going to do is, I think they're going to flood the market with shows that look flashy, but are just kind of, back if I could talk, void of content, void of substance. Now hold on here. William Powell, $5 here, says, I want a Wonder Woman Amazon series done in the vein of Game of Thrones, T&A, blood, the whole works. Yeah, I would say scissor me timbers on that one, William. There would be,
The sad thing is, if the DC cinematic universe was successful, I guarantee you that we'd already have tons of shit like that in the works, like spin-offs of Wonder Woman and Batman and all that type of shit. But DC has no faith in their properties. So,
well, they have faith in Batman, and they have faith in Batman related. I mean, like, that's why, I don't look. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't see Doom Patrol getting anything past the third season. I don't see Titans surviving past its third season.
Even though that's Batman adjacent.
Yeah, but it's also Berlanti. I think they're going to try to get rid of Berlanti. I see Zaslav making a move to cut out all of that TV stuff, unless they start cutting the budgets down. And I mean, I don't know, because those shows do low numbers for cable. I mean, they do well for CW, but for any other network, it's really low. So it's, I think
they're going to double down on the Arrowverse as much as I don't want them to. Honestly, I think they're going to announce. I think they're going to announce that Titan's going to be in the Arrowverse. I think they're going to double down on the Arrowverse bullshit, which is a terrible continuity. It's not. I mean, I don't know. It's not. It's definitely far from perfect.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
No, I get you. It could be better. It could be better here, but I do appreciate that, William. Thank you. H Bart's here says, just I'll let you know that I will turn on you someday. That is all. Never trust a Kermit. Well, you know what? Here's the thing, dude. I appreciate you for you. I think you're a really good guy. If you're going to turn on me, I'm still going to ride that wave till the end, dog. I'll just be honest with you on that one. So if you're already prepping for an exit, just make it rain. Go out and style. Go out and style.
Never trust a Kermit. Damn.
Never trust a Kermit. I'll put that on a t-shirt. And then he's also asking here, has Enosh watched Loki? I don't know. I don't know if he did. I don't know if Enosh did or not. I didn't see him tweeting today, but I was also busy today, so I missed it.
All right.
Okay. So, yeah, Music Man here says, Titan should have been axed ages ago. I hear it's pretty good. So, all right. And then William here says, why do we care what the current management says or green lights when they're all on their way out the door? Because if something is already in production by the time we get to the takeover, then it's going to stay in production. So if they're saying things right now and they're aiming to get things off the ground before Zaslav takes over officially next year, then that stuff's going to survive. Anything that is not in active production by then is going to probably be looked at as being something, that it can be either kept or
I hate
gone.
to compare it to something like this, but it's like switching over from one political administration to another. You know what I mean? There's going to be some lasting leftover things that are still going to be in place until like the new administration takes over. Same applies for companies.
Yeah. Real quick here. David Alejandro Ramirez Rios says the trailer is already being filtered. Search for it on YouTube.
Filtered?
What trailer?
What trailer?
Yeah. Huh? Is there a trailer on this one? I don't know if there's a trailer, man. I don't know, man. But
oh, Jesus. Thank you.
H Parts, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Snyderverse will be restored in 2050.
Any day now.
$50 super chat.
Any day now.
Any day. Zach is just gonna get on Twitter and go, "It's back, baby. I'm back." And here's the thing: if that happens, man, I'm totally gonna be down for it. I'm totally gonna be down for it. And I expect there to be a whole bunch of "I told you so"s aimed at me, and that's fine.
I've already moved on from that.
I'll take it. But if I'm right, oh man, am I loading up that "I told you so" rubber band gun pew 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 pew.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like H. Bard said. Like, there's genuinely some people who won't be satisfied until like who would never be satisfied. You know what I mean? Like, it could be 2037. Some people will still be like, they're gonna bring back this Snyderverse.
Yeah. Like, have you seen this latest iteration? When I was a kid, we had Henry Cavill as Superman, and that lasted only 3 films, but it transcended genres. And people were fighting in the streets to bring him back. Protests storming Warner Brothers' home office with a sign, a banner, letting people know that they want it. You know, I mean, like, I could only imagine like the Civil War-esque type stories that are going to come out of like the battle to restore the Snyderverse. You're just gonna get people like Dave the Film Junkie on a live stream in like 50 years going like, well, you know, I mean, I did a show called The Vodka Stream, and I felt that it did pretty well. I talk to Zack Snyder all the time. God rest his soul. But we fought hard, you know, and it was difficult because I thought I would never find a wife because all I cared about was the Snyderverse. And then I got lucky and I met her. I mean, sure, she was you know, an anime and not real, but companionship is companionship. If Dave hears this, I'm just giving him a hard time. I don't know if he's in a relationship or not.
I don't know who that is, sir. That just sounded like a George Lucas impression to me.
That's not a George Lucas impression.
Kind of sounded like George Lucas.
Doesn't sound anything like George Lucas.
Sounded like
George
Lucas from that. Kind of sounded
like George Lucas is all like, he's got a higher pitched voice, dude. What are you doing? No, now you're just making crap up.
Are you friends with George Lucas, Matt?
I've never met George Lucas.
Damn.
But I would like to meet George Lucas before he dies. I think that would be really cool. You know what? Cool. It's not even meeting him. I just want to be like I know this is going to sound weird because of COVID, but I just want to be like where I can breathe the same air as George Lucas.
Damn. Wow.
Right. But like, you know, vaccinated, like, you know, relaxed, vaxxed, and, or what is it? Was it relaxed to like vaxxed and relaxed to the max to steal a line from Seth Meyers?
Relaxed, vaxxed, and having sex with a sax. I believe.
Sure. It's, by the way, it's also been 30 years since Clinton did that saxophone thing on Arsenio Hall. That was just the other day.
Oh yeah. Wait, he had sex with a saxophone?
No, this is Bill Clinton, in order to kind of like solidify like the young hip vote, went on to Arsenio Hall and played the saxophone.
Damn.
Yeah, and that was a big deal. I remember I was like 9 when that happened, you know, and that was a big thing. People were talking about that back then. They're like, "Oh my God, Bill Clinton
played the sax."
Who was he running? Oh, he was running against George W. Bush. No, George H. Yeah, it was George W.
HW.
Yeah, it was you know, first one, and so like the Bush daddy, and so he was running against him, but still, there's no way to compare. It's like, you know, Sleepy George. Well, you know, it's more of a Reagan. God, my presidential impersonations are terrible. I would love to do. I really want to learn how to do a good Obama though. I don't know why.
Jesus fucking. Well, I mean, Obama's like a very common impression, though. Everyone's given that shot at doing.
Yeah, well, everyone tried their Trump impression too, and it was my Trump is god awful. But like, Obama,
Trump impression's terrible.
Yeah, but Obama, you're like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to. I can't do it. I'm like, I have to kind of build up to it. It's really
you have a little bit of the cadence, right?
Yeah, like, let me tell you all a story. I was a young boy. Out there in Chicago, and I can't. Yeah, but anyway, let's move on.
He puts the wrong enunciation. He puts the wrong enunciation on everything. That's right.
Yeah, I know. Simon here says you sound like Wilford Brimley. Diabetes. Listen. Oh, I miss Wilford Brimley. H Bard's here. Another $5. Thank you, sir. Says Marvel will collapse the Snyderverse, brah. What? It doesn't. Well, I mean, like, that doesn't need to happen. Like, that doesn't need to be a. You know, both can operate simultaneously. That's not the issue.
Yeah, ideally there would be both, and they would make each other better, because Marvel having competition would make Marvel better. They'd have to compete more, right? So.
Yeah, they would have to. But here's the thing, though. I think at this point, Marvel's in competition with itself.
True.
And I mean, but that's kind of like, I think that's Feige just going like, how can we do better? How can we kind of explore different genres and play with this kind of stuff? Like, literally, they're the ones holding themselves accountable, and it's so crazy because like it keeps working for right now. There's eventually going to be a dud or a few. That's going to always happen.
Eternals.
Yeah, I saw a thing today too where they're just like, I think it was Gemma Chan or something was saying in an interview like, Oh, we mostly shot like all at magic hour, which is like that last hour between, sunset and twilight. And we shot it, like we just did it all like, realistically and in the camera. And I'm just like, they're doing everything they can to undersell.
Make it
Eternals.
sound artsy. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, like the thing is though, look, Nomadland won Best Picture. Parasite won in 2020. After Parasite won in 2020, a bunch of fucking people ran out to go see Parasite. A lot of people who I know who had never like bothered to watch anything like that went out to go see Parasite. And then all of a sudden here comes Nomadland and it wins. And like, it's crickets, like no one is out there going like, have you seen Nomadland? Cause I think the story is just so blasé. Frances McDormand on a journey to find herself while working as an Amazon delivery person after losing her home and her husband. It's reality, the movie. Like,
get the fuck out of here. I can see that in my real life. I don't need to see that in the film theaters.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's just there's nothing there that's provocative in my opinion. Maybe it's a social commentary. It's gone Hulu.
But like that's not what people want right now. People want escapism, especially during this in the end of the fucking pandemic shit. Like people want escapism.
Well, Astro here says Nomadland was a fun look at life. Really? I don't know what about that would be fun. I'm just saying.
No man's land.
No, Nomadland. All right. William here, $5. Thank you, man. Says lower budgets don't necessarily exclude Snyder type stuff. AOD was made for 70 to 90 million. Not every film needs to be 250 to 350. Yeah, no. You have a very good point there, William.
True.
But if we're talking about Justice League 2, Justice League 3, with the contracts, unless all the stars take a massive cut, which is not going to happen. Not going to happen. Because why would they? They all still want to get paid. They completed Zack's vision. They wanted to complete the vision. They still didn't like Justice League. So now if they're coming in to do more, that means they're going to want their cut. So those budgets are going to go the hell up. So, I mean, it would be in their best interest to set aside like, I don't know, $500 million, shoot 2 and 3 back to back and just pay everyone out of that, pay everyone out of that amount. I'm not saying that they can't do a modest mid-budget movie, but who would it be? The only one that we know of really would be Deathstroke. And that was about a $60 million movie with Gareth Edwards. I believe it was Gareth Edwards who was, it's, I always get him the Raid director, Gareth Evans. I always get Edwards Evans mixed up. And he was going to come on to direct it and that would have been cool. And that's what they should focus on is those kind of mid-budget range films would be fine. But when it comes to like this continuing the Snyderverse, which is Snyder's vision, which is Justice League 2 and Justice League 3, that is a massive, massive, massive budget. And I just don't see Zaslav coming in and saying like, this is what we want to do. Maybe I'll be wrong and I'd be happy to be wrong. But this is not the kind of guy, this is the kind of guy that like discussed taking over Warner Brothers through text messaging. No. This is what happened. So AT&T CEO John Stankey was texting with Discovery CEO David Zaslav. They were texting each other about streaming, about everything, about the industry. That turned into a 2-hour conversation. Where at the end of that 2-hour conversation, Zaslav agreed to take over Warner's assets, entertainment assets. Do you think though it cost prohibitive measures would not have been a heavy part of that discussion?
Obviously.
I mean, obviously, yeah, obviously, yeah, 100%. So I mean, there's absolutely it's just a whole bunch of crazy stuff there. That just it's just that's where we are. I just don't see it happening. I'm sorry. But I do thank you for the super chat. All right, here, real quick. All right. William also says here, Parasite was awful, and I like the director. He did a film, The Host, that was a classic. I haven't seen The Host, but I want to see it. I didn't think Snowpiercer was all that great. It was good, but it wasn't all that great. Everyone kept telling me Snowpiercer was like the best thing since sliced bread. And it was entertaining, but I felt it was almost a little bit too cynical. Like there's times where you're like, okay, and I haven't seen the TV show. So there's that. All right. Okay. And Ryan here says Parasite was a legitimately great film, which was also a social commentary on the class system. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I have it. I just haven't watched it yet. I have it on Movies Anywhere. I was given a copy of it. H. Bart's here, another $5 says Eternal working at Amazon. Also, Chloe Zhao Dracula film sounds garbage. Oh yeah, she says she wants to. Reimagine Dracula. Like, okay, like, all right. Sure.
Reimagine track. Come on, like that's not really necessary. Maybe if the dark universe went somewhere, but
I never saw 2017's The Mummy, so I don't know if it was any good or not.
That wasn't 2017. I thought that was earlier.
No, no. The dark universe kicked off with the dark universe
didn't kick off.
And it didn't kick. Well, no. Well, actually, what it was is in 2014 they released a movie called Dracula Untold. And that was with Lee Evans. And then at the end of that movie, they had a stinger that like he had survived and like he was living in modern day. And they shot that before the movie came out. It was actually something that was tacked on at the end because Universal had announced the Dark Universe at the time, or there had been rumblings of it at the time, where it was going to be this interconnected Universal Monsters universe. And so they had Dracula coming out. So they thought, well, why don't we just tack on a stinger at the end of that's going to tie into the Dark Universe. So then, like 2.5 years down the road, when Tom Cruise's The Mummy comes out, then we'll be able to really kind of establish, like we'll already have a lead in, we'll already have a first movie that ties into it. And they were going to do like The Mummy, and then it was going to be Bride of Frankenstein. But then they went back and they did The Invisible Man, which, was not the Dark Universe. And that did pretty well last year. So now I think they're still working on, according to IMDb, they're still working on the Bride of Frankenstein. I just have no idea. So, all right. Well, here, okay. It says here, I don't think Zaslav would make a habit out of spending that type of money, but I do think there will be exceptions. Who knows? I mean, there might be exceptions on that deal when it comes to that 20 billion that Zaslav wants to spend for the content. And he wants to rebuild the relationships with these filmmakers and these talent. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, what's going to be more valuable to the overall ecosystem? Christopher Nolan or Zack Snyder? I mean, like that's going to be where is going to be at. Never mind Game of Thrones and J.J. Abrams are going to be the big one because Warner Brothers spent $500 million giving J.J. Abrams money for a 5-year contract.
I don't see what they see in J.J. Abrams. Like,
well, I mean, he's a safe bet.
Is he really though? Like he's done an okay job with some of the franchises he's adopted, but like not a great job.
Well, he hasn't seen them through. He hasn't directed 1, 2, and 3, right? And this is funny because I was reading up on the Indiana Jones movie history yesterday, and apparently when Spielberg had first pimped the idea of doing Indiana Jones to Steven Spielberg, when Lucas had first said that to Steven Spielberg, Spielberg. Like I got to go back and read it again, but the idea was essentially that Lucas only wanted Spielberg to accept it if Spielberg was going to direct the trilogy, because Lucas already had a trilogy in mind before they made the first movie. So Lucas had a plan. It's just funny to say 40 years later, but Lucas had a plan, and he wanted Spielberg and his vision to be what carried through the entire thing. Because I think after working on Star Wars, he understood that having the same directorial vision will do very well in regards to carrying these kind of stories. And that's kind of the whole point, is that when you think about, like these kind of directors in these movies, and like JJ, what he does is he's really good at envisioning the world. He's good at building the world, but he's kind of like a kid with ADD, or like Doug from the movie Up, where it's just squirrel if something shiny is happening off screen, which we all know he likes lens flare. So it just ends up being this different environment, I think. Anyway, H. Bart's here with another $5 says, don't poke the bear. I got to go get Parasite on Criterion. Yeah, don't poke the bear. All right. And then another $5 from H. Bart's here, man. Thank you. Says there's only one Dracula, Christopher Lee. Also, only mummy film I like is the 1958 version with Cushing and Lee. Those are good films. But the 1999 Brendan Fraser mummy, dude, that movie is legit. That movie's legit. That is the best Indiana Jones movie since Last Crusade came out, in my professional opinion. But on that note, I hate to cut this off. I actually do have to get to bed. I was only going to go for an hour tonight. We're an hour 40 in. I really appreciate it. Everyone coming by, hanging out. Annie, where can people find you?
Check me out over at youtube.com/Underhaven. You can also join my Discord, discord.underhaven.org. We have fun times.
Thank you. And if you guys haven't already, be sure to check out my friend RJ and I. We broke down the episode 1 of Loki today. A lot of fun. 30-minute video, easy listen. A lot of fun to get through. And then also remember, if you're looking to find something very interesting to watch on the internet, Google Ron Jeremy as Mario for Super Hornio Brothers in order to make sure that you get all of your hot plumbing action. And then never forget, Gina Carano did everything wrong. T-shirts coming soon. And if you want to be a channel member, get your name on this list. The link's in the description. Thank you guys very much. I will talk to you guys all later. Have yourself a great day. Thank you again, and peace. Wait, hold on. I'm on the wrong. The banner didn't go off. There we go.